Another trading week is behind us. Hey there, Tamir from FIBONACCI-Traders.com here. Weekly market recap. Like, subscribe. Let's see the charts. As usual on weekly market recaps, we'll go over the SPY, the Qs, the Dow Jones, IWM, Bitcoin, Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, and many more names. Also some hot Chinese names, so don't go anywhere, don't fast forward, you don't want to miss this weekly market recap. SPY on the weekly closed the week with the doji 0.6% to the upside, and as you can see, the yellow zone, the 500, the upper border of this yellow zone is holding strong support. Now let's see continuation above the 510, and maybe in the coming week or two we will retest all-time highs. Breaking below the 500, we will see 492 and 484. Always prepare for both sides. QQQ ended up the week with 1%. Also broke above the yellow zone. Now, as you can see, the 437 is the resistance. Long continuation above it, and we will see the 450. Now you can ask yourself why on the weekly the FTI still gives us a bearish sentiment, because first, in the past 4 weeks or so we have lower highs, and this week closed with a doji below a very important area of resistance. So the FTI identifies this price section, a doji below a very important area of resistance. Same as the SPY. Look at the SPY, also bearish on the weekly. Why? Because we ended up the week with a doji, and we know that the doji is an indecision in the market. Furthermore, we are still 4 weeks with lower highs. So this is the magnificent FTI. One click away and you have all the answers on your chart. Look at the Dow Jones. If we take out the FTI for 1 second, what do we see? Broadening formation on the Dow Jones, holding above the lower border of this broadening formation. Now let's see continuation above last week's high, above the 388, and then we will meet the 396 area, 394 area. This upper border of this broadening formation breaking above this red line, we will enter once again this option channel. Now you can use the FTI for levels. Next resistance is the 391, and then we will see 400 back on our charts. IWM, if we clean the chart a little bit, what do we see? Still inside the yellow zone, struggling to break above and stay above the yellow zone. Now let's see continuation. Can IWM break above and finish next week above the yellow zone? And then we will see 206 and 212 to the upside. Bitcoin, but by the time that I'm recording this video, we still have almost 2 days until these candles, the weekly candle of Bitcoin closing. We are still above an uptrend line. Look at this uptrend line since October of 2023. This is why we are still bullish on all time frames. But if you zoom in and you know how to read price action, you can clearly see that since beginning of April we have lower lows, lower highs on Bitcoin. So if you're not long yet on Bitcoin, in my opinion, this is not the time. We need to see conviction by the Bitcoin, at least another week closing above the 66, and then next will be retesting the all-time highs. Same as the Ethereum. Look how Ethereum bounced, touched, bounced the lower border of the yellow zone, touched and bounced this upper trend line, uptrend line since October of 2023. Touched, bounce, now touching once again. Can we get a bounce? We are still 4 weeks inside the yellow zone, and once we are inside the yellow zone, this is a no trading zone. Very tight price action on the Ethereum between the 28.50 and the 33.30. I want to see break above and out of this yellow zone at least 3-4 days closing above the 33.30, and then we will see 36.72. Like, subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Let's grow this channel together. This channel is for you, ladies and gentlemen, to know how I think, how I look at charts, how I trade, what I think hit the like, subscribe. Let's grow this channel together. Let's become the best and the biggest trading channel on YouTube. Magnificent 7 back above the middle trend line. Ended up the week with a doji, just one step away from all-time highs on the Magnificent 7. Let's see, can we get a break above the 40.32? SOXX, the semiconductors ETF, closed the week with a doji, barely hanging above the yellow zone, above the 215 area. We are still bearish on the weekly, not surprising. Just take trend line and you will see why, because we have lower highs and we also have lower lows on the SOXX. So until SOXX will break above the 226, only breaking above the 226, at least 3-4 days hanging above the 226. Until then, bearish on the weekly. Apple, not surprising, closed the week with 8.3% to the upside. This is how Apple chart looks on the daily. Post earnings went all the way to the 187 and then slide back down to the 182. Now you can put FTI on your chart, and as you can see, the FTI gives you everything that you need. And what do we see? If we take Fibonacci a little bit tighter, now it went all the way to the 187, a Fibonacci area of support and resistance. Support now is the 182, breaking below it, and we will retest this yellow zone, the 178. Don't forget, earnings gap, be careful. We know that more than 85% of all gaps will get filled. I want to see continuation on the weekly above the 186, another 2-3 days above the 186, and then we will see 191 and back to the 200 on Apple. Amazon continued just moving sideways. Look at this. Amazon basically since beginning of February stuck between the 171 and the 190. Very tight price section on Amazon. I want to see long continuation above the 190, and then if you're not long yet on Amazon, we can start taking long towards the 220. And of course, everything that you see and hear on my channel is for educational purposes only. Nothing here is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am merely just a YouTube channel that shares ideas with you to help each and every one of you to see things a little bit different, to become a better trader and start making money. AMD closed the week with 4.3% to the downside. We are below the yellow zone, bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly. This is how AMD looks on the daily. Gap to the downside post earnings, hanging above the 140.60, we can say. Now this area, the 152 area, is the resistance breaking above, and you know that this gap will get filled. Why? Because more than 85% of all gaps will get filled. We are below the 50% retracement. We are above the lower border of the yellow zone, breaking below on the weekly, and we will see 124 incoming. Tesla, it's all about trend lines and Fibonacci. Look at this. The yellow zone once again proves itself as the most significant area of resistance and support. In this case, resistance. Tesla went all the way. Post earnings, not post earnings, but Monday, Tesla opened all the way to the 198 together with this blue trend line, and then slowly grinding down, back retesting the daily yellow zone, breaking below it, and we will see this gap will get filled. Below it you have another gap at the 146. Overall on the weekly we are still inside downtrend. Why we got ourselves bullish on the weekly? Because we broke above the middle line, the middle trend line. But look at the overall picture. Three out of 4 time frames are under bearish sentiment. Microsoft, nothing much on Microsoft. still hanging above the yellow zone. Very tough area of resistance. Let's see continuation towards the 416 and then 430, breaking below the 405. We will see 396 and back to the 390. Look how the yellow zone, the lower border, acts as a very important area of support. Also the 50% retracement, very important area of support, and this higher border of the yellow zone from support to resistance. It's all about the FTI. Just put it on your chart and you will get everything that you want. Just one click away. Meta closed the week with an inside candle inside the yellow zone. Inside candle represents an indecision in the market, and this small table, little table over here, proves that there is an indecision. Look, multi-time frame, mixed signals, which means no long or no short on Meta. If you want to go, I know what I want. I'm looking for another 2 days above the 452, and then I will start taking long on Meta towards the 486 and then 531. Google, inside week after last week's almost 11% to the upside. We talked about this blue uptrend channel. We said that now Google reached all the way to the upper border of this uptrend channel. Some kind of a retracement pullback will be super healthy, and here we are. 165 now is the support. Doji inside candle, mixed signals, indecision in the market. Below the 164 we will meet 157. Long continuation. We can start above last week's highs, above the 170, and then 174, breaking above this area, above the 175 area. We will see 187 and 202 to the upside. Nvidia closed the week with a doji. Nvidia is back. Let's see continuation above the 894, and then we will go retest the 975. Now, as you can see, the upper border of the yellow zone, the 777, is the support. MicroStrategy, doji. Let's clean the chart a little bit. Doji of the 618 retracement. This is the yellow zone, the lower border of the yellow zone, doji. Now, can we get a trend reversal back to the 1400? Above the 1400, we will see 1670 to the upside. We had 2 months of a downtrend on MicroStrategy, went all the way to the 618 retracement doji. Let's see if this doji can prove its name as a trend reversal signal. SMCI still inside downtrend since beginning of March. Downtrend, bearish on all time frames, below the yellow zone already 3 weeks. Nothing much on SMCI. Below the 744 we will meet 626 to the downside. Netflix closed the week with a trend reversal. Candlestick pattern, broke above, stayed above the yellow zone. Now let's see continuation above last week's highs towards the 600, above it 640 incoming. Now let's talk about some Chinese stocks. The Chinese stocks are starting to get very, very hot. So like, subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Check also all the links in the description below. Choose your path, choose one path. Join the Fibonacci traders to become financial freedom through trading. First name, NEO on the weekly. Look at this. 2 weeks, NEO already gained 42% in 2 weeks. Now, heading towards the lower border of the yellow zone, the 586 area. Look at this. All across January through March this year. This lower border of the yellow zone, very tough resistance. Now, retesting this yellow zone once again as resistance. Breaking above it, I want to see at least 3-4 days above the 590 area. And then we will see 660 and 730. End of May, we have NEO's earnings coming up. Don't forget Also trend lines in combination with candlestick analysis, Fibonacci. This is all you need on your chart. And the FTI gives you everything. Also buy signals, sell signals, multi-time frames. This is all you need. Look at this. Downtrend channel, lower board of the yellow zone, all this area, very important area of resistance. Breaking above it at least 2-3 days, because one day will not change the overall sentiment. And then we can start taking long position on NEO. Next is K-Web, China's ETF for internet stocks. Look at this, 19% in just 2 weeks. Now at the 3070, very important area of support. Since, look at here, very important area of support. July 2022, over here, December 2022, broke back to the downside, February 23, and since February of 2023, already 1 year and 3 months that the K-Web is struggling with this 3070 area. Close the week on the high of the week. Very bullish, super bullish, all time frames, long continuation, and we will see 33 and 35.60 to the upside. Next we have, of course, BABA. BABA gained 16% in the past 2 weeks, but we also broke above a very long and a very steep downtrend line that started January of 2023. It goes all the way back also here of October of 2021, and now in the past week 7.7% to the upside. Close the week on the high of the week. Super bullish BABA. Next week, don't forget, BABA have earnings. Not next week, we have, when is it? Tuesday, May 14th. BABA have earnings. Pay attention. If you are trading, you need to know when the stocks that you are trading have earnings. Long continuation, and we will see 90 to the upside. Another interesting name is JD. JD, the competitor for Alibaba here in China, 27% in the past 2 weeks. Did we miss it? No, it's just the beginning in my opinion. Long continuation, and we will see 40 to the upside. Last but not least, TME, Tencent Music, one of the biggest holding companies here in China in the past 2 weeks. 18% or so to the upside. Now let's see continuation above last week's highs. Look at all China names. Close the week on the high of the week. Super bullish. Now let's see continuation towards the 15. We have a gap over here at the 15.10 and then 16.82. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. More videos, also my top stocks to watch video, coming up during this weekend. Until the next video, enjoy the rest of your weekend.